Hello everyone. This is my impression of the Paraguayan national team's attack. You like it? Boom, it's another glorious day because I get to talk about international football, and let's get right into this. Welcome to the World Cup 2026 September review video. Now before we get into this, as this is the week Mortal Kombat 1 releases, you guys should totally like this photo here. It's my favorite on Instagram. Link to the picture in the description. Really, this is just my way of getting more numbers on my Instagram. Anyways, CONMEBOL time. To officially begin World Cup 2026 qualifiers, we had Paraguay vs Peru. Paraguay dominated the first half, but were pretty unlucky not to score. And of course, this isn't a classic South American qualifier unless someone gets a red card. Ramon Sosa throughout the first half had been toasting Luis Advincula like a morning bagel. And in the 45th minute, Advincula ran out of ideas and received a second yellow. By the way, we're gonna keep up with every red card in this region with this tally right here. Into the second half, Paraguay continued to dominate. However, Pedro Gallese is there to make several stops. Then, for whatever reason, in the 86th minute, chaos ensues. It starts with 39-year-old Paulo Guerrero nearly stunning the Paraguayan crowd. 30 seconds later, Paraguay now have a chance. The first strike hits the post, and then the rebound hits the post. Within 45 seconds, we saw the ball hit the woodwork 3 times. But in the end, after 90 chaotic minutes, the match ends 0-0. Pedro Gallese takes all the credit for Peru, somehow escaping with a single point here as he made 6 saves that night. Colombia then took on Venezuela, and this would be the first test for Nestor Lorenzo. Unlike my IB exams, he passed, and Colombia won 1-0 in dominating fashion. If you remember from the preview, Ecuador is starting with -3 points, and they had the honor of playing the world champions in Buenos Aires.
Prayers tonight, but it's not good.
It was all Argentina throughout the first half, but luckily for the Ecuadorians, Lautaro Martinez still has cold feet. But enough nonsense, said the little magician from Rosario. Late into the 78th minute, Ecuador make the grave mistake of fouling a player right outside the box. The little alien who dropped down into a random Publix in Florida one day, like he has time and time again, makes it look so effortless, and Argentina win 1-0. Over in Montevideo, Marcelo Bielsa's young Uruguayans cruise past the Chileans to earn all 3 points.
You look lonely.
I had the goal in the preview of pissing off as many Brazilians as physically possible. It definitely worked. So for a change, I'm going to only say positive things about Brazil in this review. The last fixture of matchday 1 was Brazil vs Bolivia. In Brazil. So quite like watching a fighting game cinematic movie on YouTube, the fight ended before it even started. More importantly though, Neymar would finally beat Pele's record and become Brazil's all-time leading scorer. The match ended in a bloodbath as Brazil won 5-1, a perfect way to start and forget everything that happened in 2022. What happened in 2022? Nothing. By the way, you might be wondering, where's the Euro Qualifiers review? It'll be coming out pretty soon, within the next few days. I got my editor working on that while I'm currently working on the World Cup qualifiers. Another thing, you might be wondering, Maxwell, when's the next video essay? I mean, you've only uploaded one in April. Yes, I know, I haven't been amazing with my schedule as of late, but I promise you there is one currently in the works. It is the fall of the German national team. I don't care if Alfie's already made a video about it. I want to make a video about it myself, so I'm going to do that. It is taking an ungodly amount of time, so it might be a while. Like, I would say November it'll come out, but I promise you it'll be good, it'll be long, and you'll really love it. Anyways, back to the qualifiers. Match day 2 started with Bolivian fans lighting fireworks in the middle of the night outside the hotel where the Argentinian national team was staying. Unfortunately for fans, their national team couldn't even beat Argentina with 5 seconds of sleep and no oxygen. Oh, and look at this, our second red card of the window. In all fairness to Bolivia, they started their campaign against the 2 best nations in South America. But needless to say, this window is one they'll definitely want to forget.
Don't grab nothing. Oh!
In search of their first 3 points, Ecuador played Uruguay, and a 16-year-old Kendry Páez made his debut. Ecuador started promising, but it would be Uruguay to score first. Latry didn't step off the gas, however, and defender Felix Torres equalizes before the half. Ender Valencia then had a chance to give Ecuador the lead on a penalty, but missed. And striker Ender Valencia, he may be 33 years old, but he has shown no signs of stopping. But then in the 61st minute, Kendry sends a ball into the box, and again, it's Felix Torres this time to give Ecuador the lead. After that goal, there was more urgency from Uruguay, but Ecuador did well to hold them off. Into stoppage time though, we got another case of classic CONMEBOL officiating. So after a controversial decision, Ecuador earn all 3 points and now have 0 points.
Ain't believing us. God did.
Having squandered their chances in the last match, Paraguay had the chance to make things right against Venezuela. History was on their side as La Albiroja hadn't lost a qualifier in Venezuela since 2001. But much like the New York Giants last weekend, the Paraguayans failed to score again. And this time they paid for their mistakes as Venezuela came closer and closer until finally they found a breakthrough in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. Next was Chile versus Colombia. They tricked us. Before the match between Peru and Brazil, Peruvian shamans were doing rituals to neutralize Neymar in Brazil. Could they potentially do that with my thoughts? It was seemingly working though, as Peru did well to hold off the flamboyant Brazilian samba. Right until the 90th minute. So at the end of the September window, this is the table so far. Don't get too excited. Brazil and Argentina end their windows with all 6 of 6 points. Colombia sit 3rd, having started pretty decently. They'll just hope to not be as underwhelming as they were versus Chile. Uruguay and Venezuela currently hold 4th and 5th. The challenge ramps up even more for Uruguay, who have a difficult October window ahead. Paraguay, Peru, and Chile each share a point. Paraguay in particular will be very disappointed in their performances this window. Ecuador would have been 5th with their win, but instead they sit with 0 points in 9th. And then there's Bolivia with 2 losses and a -7 goal differential. If it wasn't already bad enough that they played the 2 best nations in the region, they play Ecuador next window.
Ain't you had enough punishment for one day?
And so that is your World Cup 2026 September 2023 review. South American qualifiers were so fun to watch this window. Expect the same chaoticness going into the next few. Also expect the first round of Asian qualifiers next month. That will be covered more in next month's preview. But until then, of course, a massive shout out to all our patrons, including Janos Balash, Stin, Miliwe009, and Nazir Makalankom, Aldipu, Alex Rod, Ulta, Aresan, Carlos Anaya, Daniel Ortiz, Francisco Hernandez, Hysteria, Ilea, Josh Budd, Marco Fujimoto, Miguel Munoz, Return Fire, Rory Burns, Sliderkit, Snifferx, Taco Okafan, Tana Permilia, Celine Khan, Tomicus, Victor, Chris Damasceno, Chris Visconti, Q Snatty Champs 2022, Lewis, Joe Aparicio, Lucian Von Croix, Michael Nista, Niche, Patrick Barley, Rowan Cookie, Sylvia Citrus, Subscribe to Tenditim, Unbroken Persona, and Valencia 14. If you'd like to join the Patreon, there'll be a link down below and up in the annotations. You can follow my Twitter if you want, follow my Instagram if you like, follow my TikTok. I don't even care how many followers I get there anymore. And of course, you can follow my semi-active Twitch. Until then, I'll see you guys.